I mean, even Netflix sent out that memo saying, we're going to produce for all sorts of people, all sorts of different content. If you can't take it, bye.
Absolutely. I love when last week you were talking about this girl that wanted reparations she wanted snacks.
Yes.
And you're like, how is this woman going to be a lawyer? I mean, they're going to tell you that you're stupid and that your ideas are awful. And you've been through so much too. Like, do you think that people can cultivate resilience, or is this something that you're born with?
Yes. No, they 100% can cultivate it. I didn't come into the world like this. That's why I feel so strongly about all this stuff. It's like, I have lots of like moms in particular, but also dads will come and say, like, I really want I have my daughter listen to you, and I want my daughter to be as strong as you are. I'm like, that's so easy. You got it. Just get out of her way. Let all the shit that's coming her way come her way. And then be there to be supportive. You know, you can support your child through trauma and certainly, you know, give them some thoughts on how to navigate it, but let them navigate it. And then their confidence builds, even if it doesn't come out perfectly. You know, it's like courage is built. Self-confidence is built, but you can't go from, you know, having none to having a ton overnight. You've got to do all those little baby steps in between, and then you'll take bigger risks, and then bigger falls will come your way, and then you'll handle those, and you'll have even more confidence and more, like, just keep getting back up. You just keep getting back up, get back up, get back up, get back up. That's like, it's not even that complicated. So I hate safe spaces. They're exactly the opposite. I spoke to Stanford business students recently, and I said, run toward the danger. You want to be strong? Run toward the danger and hope something goes wrong.
Yes, it's the anti-fragility. What's that book about the anti-fragility thing? Like that's how you get over things, is exposure and going over it. I know. Are you in therapy? I think I heard you mention.
I have been for most of my life. I'm not currently because I, moved, but my therapist is a genius and I love him, and he got me through so much. And one of his classic lines was, this is after like all this shit had happened at Fox and I was leaving. I was at NBC, and he said to me, Megyn, you don't always have to take the path of most resistance. Like, now you tell me. But yeah, he's brilliant and really, really helped me. In fact, he's probably the reason why I'm no longer in it, because I'm doing pretty well right now, and I haven't felt the need, the urgent need to be there weekly.
Yeah. And I know you talk about your upbringing a little bit, but do you think this was modeled for you?
Well, you know what my mom did? You know what my mom did? She's like you. She was funny. She is funny. She's still around. But like growing up, she would just laugh in our face a lot of the times when we had some stupid problem. Like, I'm not dealing with that. And just walk off. So it's like, oh, okay. There's a story that lives in infamy where I had some really important paper due, and I got to school, and I called her. She was a nurse at the Albany Veterans Hospital. And I called her. I'm like, Mom, I left my term paper at home. If I don't get that term paper in, I'm going to fail this class. And she's like, and? I'm like, you got to go home. You got to get me that term paper. You got to bring it to me. I didn't even have a car. I couldn't drive. She laughed at me and hung up. But that's what you need, right? Like, you figure it out. You be responsible. She used to have a sign in my kitchen cupboard that read, lack of planning on your part does not justify an emergency on my part. Ooh. And like, I feel like what I'm passing down to my kids is just, I'm too tired to really be that kind of a mom. So I'm not really doing it by design so much as like, I'm just tired. So they're going to have to take care of themselves.
Girl, amen. Because my 3-year-old is in this phase of wanting to do things for himself and then wanting me to do it. And so I have to be like, no, you do it. You get the water. You get your damn water.
Yes.
And I heard him explaining how to make hot dogs to my older kid. He's like, you put the hot dog in the microwave, and when it pops, it's ready.
Oh, close.
And I'm like, that sounds good. Yep, that's what Mom taught you. But and I don't know. Like, I know feelings are important. I think feelings are great, and you have to have them and you have to process them, but that's not all there is. And I feel like this era is all about feelings and not enough about action and resilience and kicking ass. Like, listen, the boys in the studio saw the new Maverick movie, the new Top Gun movie. And I'm like, you know why it resonates even today? Listen, Maverick loses his partner Goose. He loses his girl, but you know what? He still goes up in that plane and he fights the goddamn Russians and he kills those goddamn Russians. And that's, you know what I mean? Like that's America. Yeah. That's America, Jack. Like,
and he's still hot.
He's still hot. He looks amazing. Yeah. What is he doing?
He has definitely had work done. Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Have you looked at like the Where Are They Now rundown of all the stars who were in the original Top Gun? It didn't end that well for everyone. That's all I'll say. Tom Cruise looks amazing. Whatever he's doing, it's working.
Well, you know what I love is that Kelly McGillis, they interviewed her and they asked her if she was upset that she wasn't asked to do the new movie. And she's like, well, no, I'm old and fat. And that would be ridiculous.
Good for her.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Well, it's like she's in an industry where like you're not allowed to get old and you're not allowed to gain weight. You know, you're just, it's not allowed. It's not permitted. So like truly good for her. I saw an article about Melissa Gilbert recently, who I loved on Little House on the Prairie growing up. One of my dreams, like NBC wasn't all bad. And one of the good things about it was I got to interview her and Nellie, Allison Arngren from, yes, I interviewed Nellie. It was awesome, right? The bitch. Yeah, she was the funniest. She's a comedian. She's so funny. Anyway, Melissa Gilbert has now just exited stage left because she's sick of dealing with the bullshit and like having to stick your face full of poison. And she's in some like sort of, you know, I don't know, like cabin in like the Adirondacks now with her husband, Timothy Busfield, who's of Hollywood as well. And I'm like, good for her. I bet it's, I mean, I can feel it in news, but not to the extent these Hollywood actresses get it.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, it's too much. I think like, especially with comedy, the good news is the older, the fatter, the more inappropriate you are, the longer your career is going to last. And, you know, when I was a young comedian, I've been doing this for 20 years and I started when nobody wanted to hear women say a goddamn thing. So I would go up and I would do every gig. I mean, I did gentlemen's clubs. I did Afghanistan just to get stage time.
Wow.
And I mean, look, I'm very pro troops. I won't do it now because I have children, but I did a lot of stuff. I went to Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, Dubai, you name it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was life-changing. And especially to come back as a civilian and see people complaining about everyday life. And you're like,
yes.
No.
Yes.
Get out of here.
There's only 1 week left for Genucel's summer clearance sale. Now, save over 60% on Genucel's most popular package at Genucel.com. Order today and get Genucel's Dark Spot Corrector free. The Genucel Dark Spot Corrector uses special peptides to visibly reduce the appearance of dark spots, age spots, and yes, even sunspots that summer leaves behind. Genucel has been family-owned and operated since day one. They know times are tough for all of us, and that's why they have not and will not raise their prices on their world-class skincare. That's awesome. Respect and support them. The results are real. Millions of Americans are in love. Genucel guarantees results or your money back. And sign up for Genucel's best-in-class rewards program at checkout for an extra 10% off your order, not to mention a complimentary gift set. Go to Genucel.com/MK60. That's GENUCEL.com/MK60. Enter MK60 at checkout for extra summer savings. And right now, every popular package includes an extra product too. Genucel.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.